I should load up the next thing, huh?
So, ihr habt schon gehört, der Chris ist wieder voll in seinem Metier, seinem Element und auch überhaupt in dem Spiel. Denn wir spielen immer noch Medal of Honor Rising Sun und der Junge weiß nun wirklich mal, wovon er redet. Und ich sehe es auch, das hieß Die Brücke am Quai. Ha! So hieß mich auch der Film.
Just as I said.
Ja, es interessiert niemanden, was du sagst, Simon. Selbst Chris interessiert nichts.
Okay.
Chris, do you care about what Simon says?
No.
Ah, you see.
I hate
Simon says.
I really can't like it.
He knows who's the boss. That's it. Also, wir sind schon wieder mittendrin und deswegen geht's weiter. Chris? Simon, I want to say Simon. Chris, tell us, what are you going to see now?
Well, one of the things I'm going to show you here...
Still in the jungle.
Still in the jungle, still a bridge on the River Kwai. But I wanted to show... Here's some allies of mine. They're waiting for me. But that there's multiple paths in some places in the game where...
Yeah.
Depending on which path you choose, depends on which two of these guys die.
So 2 guys running left and two guys running right.
And you know, you can decide to go one way or the other.
So that's something that's really completely new,
right,
to the gameplay.
That's right.
I just translated a little bit. Was er uns hier gerade zeigt, deswegen fange ich gerade mal mit dem Deutschen wieder an, ist halt wirklich auch komplett neu bei der Serie, bei der Reihe, dass ihr halt die Möglichkeit habt, verschiedene Wege zu gehen. Ich habe das auch in meinem First Look beschrieben. Das zeigt uns jetzt hier gerade. Wir konnten uns da eben entscheiden, ob wir den 2 hinterherlaufen, die rechts laufen, oder den 2, die links laufen. Und wir sind jetzt halt die linke Seite lang gelaufen und das ist halt, was da passiert ist, was völlig, also nicht völlig, aber ist schon was völlig anderes als das, was passieren will, wenn man rechts läuft. So, you are confronted with a couple of Japanese...
There's these guys in a hole.
Fire in the hole!
I better jump.
Yeah. Caesar's the holes. You've seen many movies about that time.
About Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, about Charlie. Yeah, this is something that actually, this was a typical Japanese tactic at the time, was to hide under covers of leaves, or they call them spider holes, you know, like a trapdoor spider, or something like that, where, you know, they come out and get you. But the Marines started getting savvy to that because they started noticing where the floor was discolored, or the leaves were dead, and so they would throw a grenade or do tactics like that. So
clever.
In true video game fashion, particularly in saving assets, we made sure they all look the same, and then they're all dead.
That's another one. Okay.
So once you learn that that's what those holes are for, so we repeat it through the game so that you can get a different feel for you know, the tactics involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple of questions from our community. Only ask you one. Will USB? Wait, I'm looking for. Will keyboards? Yeah, will keyboard and mouse be supported?
Currently, keyboard and mouse is not supported. The main reason is we designed everything for the DualShock, and we don't want to confuse the design with what most people will agree is probably a superior first-person shooter interface. You know, and I agree it's better, but a majority of people don't necessarily have the keyboard or mouse or can have access to that. So we want to make sure that we make the game as accessible as possible. In the future, you know, we'll definitely always evaluate new features every time we have a new game. So, okay.
And of course, features are always a matter of time. You told me that you couldn't implement auto-aiming just because of time.
Yeah, we ran out of time. It was really a tuning issue because, you know, we don't want to put anything in that's
not perfect.
Not perfect, or, you know, well, a lot of stuff goes in that's not perfect. But
okay.
Oh, you were honest. Thank you.
Stop kidding. I can't believe that.
But you know,
that wasn't
a
blank shot.
Oh, you were watching?
Yeah. Of course we are watching.
No, but you know, it really came down to it wasn't working quite the way we wanted it to, so we had to pull it. You know, and some of the things that you really want in the game get pulled, and that's just the reality of it.
So I think that's a good point. We can talk a little bit more because, I mean, actually it's only 1.5 years ago that you released Frontline, and in this period you did not just develop this new game, you just had a completely new development team.
Right.
I mean, you told me you're around about 200 people developing on that game.
Thereabouts, yeah.
how can you be able to develop a game in that time and to
you know, really,
get a completely new team?
I'm so stunned that we could actually manage a team with that many people, but we basically have a team of people that manage the team. And
we
that's
need
all
that
they do.
too.
They just facilitate communication, schedules, you know, so we have multiple producers and DDs, or development directors, who, you know, facilitate our, like I said, communication, make sure everybody gets what they need, and can make sure that the process is running smoothly. It doesn't always run smoothly, but they did one hell of a job getting us to the finish. So
yeah. So was it really important for you to keep up with the idea of the original series, and to get the people to do what the last development team did, or was it just, hey, do whatever you want? We wanted to look like a Medal of Honor game, or to be a Medal of Honor, and they did it by themselves?
Well, initially there was a part in the game, or a part in the development cycle, where I did what I called the history of Mo, and it was a presentation I gave to the teams for so that they can understand the history of the game that they were working on, because you know, not all the artists had necessarily played any of the Mo's before, or any of the by the way, Mo is short for Medal of Honor, but or any, you know, some of the engineers and you know, some of the art directors and stuff. So it was important to get them to understand the legacy that they were inheriting. Yeah. You know, and you know, I spent 3 days doing nothing but presenting facts and figures and a little bit about the history that went into the game and the history that is important in World War II.
Yeah,
so.
I think you did a good job, because you can't tell any difference.
Excellent.
I mean,
Thank
you can tell some
right.
differences, but it's definitely a Medal of Honor game.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so far.
You're running out of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
We have another one. Ein Take gibt es gleich noch, dann noch ein bisschen mehr, und dann schauen wir mal, dass wir aus dem Dschungel rauskommen. Oder auch nicht. Lassen wir uns überraschen.